Eat this before bed to stop leg cramps, especially if you are over 60. Do you wake up in the middle of the night with a sharp pain in your legs, as if a muscle is twisting without warning? Do you feel your legs become so stiff that you can't even move for a few eternal seconds? If you are over 60 years old, this could be more than just a simple nighttime annoyance. Over 50% of older adults suffer from leg cramps during the night. And the worst part? Many ignore it, thinking it's normal with age. But it's not. These muscle spasms not only interrupt your rest, they are also a silent sign that your body is missing something very important. Warning these cramps could lead to more serious consequences: nighttime falls, sleep deterioration, and an increased risk of muscular and vascular diseases. But today, I'm going to show you a simple, practical, and natural solution: what you should eat before bed to prevent these cramps and wake up with stronger, more relaxed legs ready to support you safely. So if you or someone you love suffers from these nighttime spasms, like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And tell me in the comments, has a nighttime cramp ever woken you up screaming in pain? Now that you know how important this is, let's get to the first key point. Why do these cramps really occur in older adults? Although many people believe that nighttime cramps are normal with age, the truth is that there is always an underlying cause, and understanding it is the first step to eliminating them. What exactly is a cramp? It is a sudden, painful, involuntary muscle contraction. It usually occurs in the calves, thighs, or feet, and tends to wake the person up in the middle of the night with pain so intense that they sometimes can't even move their leg. But why does it happen more in older people? As we age, our body becomes less efficient at absorbing and retaining key minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium. These three minerals are essential for muscle relaxation. If they are low, muscles can contract chaotically right when we are trying to rest. Did you know that even mild dehydration can trigger a cramp? Many older people drink little water during the day to avoid getting up to urinate at night. But that reduction in hydration directly affects muscle function, especially during sleep when the body enters its repair phase. Sitting for many hours, not walking frequently, or sleeping in positions that compress the legs can reduce blood circulation. And poor circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching the muscles, which can cause them to react with painful spasms. Some common medications among older people, such as diuretics, statins, or blood pressure medications, can cause electrolyte loss or alter muscle metabolism, and that can also lead to frequent cramps, especially at night. As you see, it's not just about age. It's about how our body changes and what we do or don't do to support it. And now that you know why they appear, it's time to understand the danger of ignoring them. Let's move to the next chapter: the silent impact of cramps on long-term health. At first, it seems like something innocent: a pinch, a pull, a nuisance that arrives without warning and leaves just as quickly. But when these cramps start to become frequent, especially during the night, the body is no longer whispering, it's screaming for help. What few people know is that nighttime cramps, when they occur several times a week, are not just a muscular annoyance. They are a reflection of an internal imbalance that can profoundly affect your quality of life. And do you know what the most dangerous trap is? Getting used to it. You start to think it's normal, that it comes with age, that it happens to everyone, but it doesn't. That silent resignation is a direct path to much more serious problems. Every cramp that wakes you up in the middle of the night robs you of minutes, sometimes hours, of the sleep your body desperately needs to repair itself. And sleeping poorly is not a luxury we can afford after a certain age. Interrupted sleep deteriorates memory, weakens the immune system, triggers stress levels, and, in the long term, accelerates the aging of your organs. What seems like just one night of poor sleep is actually a direct attack on your health from the inside. And there's more, because when an older adult wakes up with an intense cramp, the first thing they try to do is get up, walk, stretch their leg. But doing so in the dark, in pain, half asleep, is a recipe for disaster. Every year, thousands of people suffer serious falls in the middle of the night, and many of those falls are linked to muscle spasms that no one treated in time. An untreated cramp can end in a fracture, and a fracture after the age of 60 is not just a broken bone, it's the beginning of a chain of losses: mobility, independence, autonomy. But there is something even more concerning, because when cramps appear frequently, they are not always a local problem. Sometimes they are the first symptom of a serious imbalance in the body: mineral deficiency, poor circulation, or even neuromuscular diseases in their initial stages. They are like early alarms that the body turns on, but that we often ignore. And this is where you have to make a decision. You can keep thinking it's a normal part of aging, or you can understand that your body is asking for something and that you can give it what it needs. The most powerful thing about all this is knowing that you don't need expensive medications or invasive treatments. Sometimes it all starts with what you choose to put on your plate before going to sleep. And that's exactly what we'll look at now, because there are three key foods that, if you consume them at the right time, can help you relax your muscles, improve your rest, and wake up every morning without pain. Now, number 3, what to eat before bed to avoid cramps. Your body is talking to you. Every muscle pull, every spasm in the middle of the night is a desperate way of telling you, I'm missing something. And often that something isn't solved with a pill, but with something as simple as what you put on your plate before going to bed. The most powerful thing about all this is that you don't need magic formulas or expensive supplements. You just need to know which specific foods have the power to calm your muscles from within, restore minerals lost during the day, and prepare your body for a deep, restorative rest. Here are 3 that could change your nights forever. The first is a ripe banana. But not just any banana, one that already has some black spots, because that's where its nutritional magic intensifies. This fruit is rich in potassium, but also in magnesium and vitamin B6, a perfect combination for relaxing muscles and improving sleep quality. Eating half a banana 1 hour before bed can act as a natural sedative. It's sweet, comforting, and your body receives it as a nourishing embrace. The second is plain, unsweetened yogurt. This food is full of bioavailable calcium, a fundamental mineral for muscle contraction and relaxation. Additionally, it provides probiotics that aid in nutrient absorption and digestive balance, something that is often disrupted in older adults. A small cup of yogurt before bed not only helps your muscles, it also improves your digestive system and strengthens your gut microbiota, which directly influences your mood and your rest. And the third, perhaps the least known, is natural coconut water. We're not talking about the industrialized kind with added sugar, but the pure water that comes directly from a fresh coconut. This drink is a natural source of electrolytes. It contains potassium, magnesium, and sodium in ideal proportions. Drinking half a glass of coconut water 1 hour before bed can help you keep your muscles hydrated from within, prevent spasms, and improve circulation during the night. Now imagine what happens when you combine these 3 foods strategically. You are nourishing your muscles, calming your nervous system, and preparing your body to regenerate. You are interrupting the cycle of nighttime pain with a delicious, accessible, and completely natural solution. It's not just about eating something, it's about eating the right thing at the right time and with the intention of caring for the body that supports you every day. The good news is that this doesn't require sacrifices. It requires awareness. And now that you know what to include in your nightly routine, it's just as important to know what things might be sabotaging your rest without you realizing it. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about the most common mistakes that worsen cramps and how you can avoid them this very night. Now, the common mistakes that worsen cramps. Sometimes it's not just what you're missing, it's also what you're doing wrong without knowing it. And the worst part, these mistakes are so common, so everyday, that most people don't even suspect they could be causing those cramps that wake them up screaming in the middle of the night. One of the most frequent and dangerous errors is restricting hydration too much for fear of getting up to use the bathroom. Many older people drink little water during the day or stop drinking liquids altogether after 6 in the afternoon to avoid interrupting their sleep with bathroom visits. Sounds logical, right? But it's a double-edged sword. Because when there isn't enough water in your system, your muscles begin to suffer involuntary microcontractions. And during the night, when the body goes into repair mode, that silent dehydration acts like gasoline on a spark. Another silent mistake is prolonged sedentarism, especially in the last hours of the day. Sitting for hours in front of the television or going to bed right after dinner without moving your body causes circulation in the legs to become slow and heavy. The blood doesn't flow as it should, nutrients don't arrive on time, and the muscles begin to tense up like dry ropes. And then, in the middle of the night, that compressed muscle contracts and the pain violently wakes you up. And what about shoes? Wearing inadequate footwear inside the house, like slippers without support or walking barefoot on cold floors, can also affect your posture, your gait, and the way your leg muscles activate or fatigue during the day. This, combined with a lack of gentle stretching before bed, sets the perfect stage for nighttime cramps. But perhaps the most ignored mistake of all is dinner. Many people eat late, excessively, or choose ultra-processed foods with a lot of sodium and few real nutrients. And the body, instead of resting, is forced to digest for hours, stealing energy from other vital processes, like muscle repair. The result? The body gets exhausted, but doesn't recover. The good news is that each of these mistakes has a simple solution. Drink enough water throughout the day, in small, constant amounts. Move around after dinner, even if it's just a light walk around the house. Choose shoes with good support, even inside the home. And have an early, light, and nutritious dinner with foods that you already know help relax your muscles. It's not about changing your whole life overnight. It's about making small, smart decisions that add up, night after night, to the well-being you deserve. And now that you know what to avoid, let's close this video with a complete and practical nightly routine that you can start this very night to reduce or even eliminate cramps in your legs. Shall we continue to Chapter 5, the mini nightly routine to relax your legs and prevent cramps? Most people wait for the pain to arrive before they react. But the real medicine, the kind that protects, that prevents, that transforms your life, lies in the habits you create before the problem appears. And in the case of a nighttime cramps, a small routine before bed can make a huge difference between a night of rest and a night of screams, spasms, and exhaustion. Start with something as simple as a glass of water. Yes, just water. But not just any water. Warm water with a few drops of natural lemon. This combination deeply hydrates, provides potassium and vitamin C, and prepares your digestive system to better absorb the nutrients from the foods you've already seen in this video. Drink this glass half an hour before going to bed. Afterward, dedicate 5 minutes to moving your body gently. You don't need a yoga class or a long walk. Just stretch your legs, ankles, and feet. Make circles with your feet, swing your legs from the hip, gently flex your knees. These movements activate circulation, release muscle tension accumulated during the day, and send a clear signal to your nervous system. It's time to relax. Then, sit comfortably and elevate your legs for a few minutes. It could be on a pillow or against the wall. This simple posture helps drain excess fluid from the legs, improves venous return, and reduces the internal pressure that encourages spasms. Just 3 minutes in this position can completely change how your legs feel when you lie down. And now for the final touch, your calming food. You already know the best ones: A ripe banana, natural yogurt, coconut water. Choose one, or combine two if your stomach allows, and make it your ritual. You're not just feeding your body, you're also feeding your confidence, your rest, your self care, and that is powerful. This routine won't take you more than 15 minutes, but what it gives you back, a full night of sleep, without startling awake, without pain, without interruptions, is priceless. And now that you have the knowledge and the tools, it's time to apply them. Not tomorrow, not next week, this very night. Because every night you spend without pain is one night closer to the full life you deserve. You came this far because you know something isn't right. Because you're tired of waking up in the middle of the night in pain, with spasms, afraid to move. And today, you discovered something important. Nighttime cramps are not a condemnation of age. They are a warning that you can reverse. You now know why they happen: mineral loss, dehydration, lack of movement, side effects of medications, or simply the wrong nightly habits. You also discovered the real consequences of ignoring them: poor sleep, dangerous falls, deterioration of muscle health, and above all, the loss of quality of life. Apply this routine this very night. Do it for 3 consecutive days. Observe how your body responds. And if it works, as I know it will, share it. Share this video with your parents, your grandparents, your friends, with that person you know also gets up in the middle of the night suffering in silence. And tell me in the comments, which of these habits are you going to apply first? Have you already tried any of these foods? I want to read about your experience. Like this if this content helped you, subscribe to receive more real and preventative health tips, and activate the bell so you don't miss the next videos. Remember, you are not condemned to live with pain. You are one habit, one decision away from reclaiming your nights and your well-being.